Hello, you're back again at the Just Us show with King Jacob and the one and only Queen Unique. So just to do a recap of last week's show, we talked about the toxic relationships that cause people to have an unhealthy lifestyle, and it was a lot going on in that conversation. We talked about the toxic romance, the toxic friendship, and of course the toxic family member that ain't
Yeah.
never got nothing but always remain broke. So, we talked about all of that. So, tonight's topic, we're going to talk about a little. This is the grown folks hour. This is, this
Can I
is
say a
only some.
disclaimer? Can I say a
Go ahead and say
disclaimer?
disclaimer. Go ahead and say disclaimer.
All right, y'all. Hi, y'all. Okay. I had wine tonight, so that means we're gonna be loose, we're gonna be free, we're gonna be ourselves. But we have to say that this has nothing to do with Unique Blessings Nonprofit Organization. I am the co-host, Queen Unique, and I'm here with beautiful guests. I'm smiling because I'm so ready. But do us a favor, grab your water, grab your wine, put the kids to bed. Saints, make sure you log off and pray for us in the morning. So, King Jacob, there you go.
All right. So, before we get into this splendid topic, man, I'm going to go ahead and let my special guests introduce themselves, and we'll start with the representative from, up north, Boston, Mass Way. We'll let her introduce herself.
Hey, blessings, peace and blessings. I'm Miss Snake Charmer. I don't do much. I'm just here, ready to share some of my perspectives, and it's a blessing to be here with you ladies. And I might need some prayer in the morning also. So push me by your
Hey,
push me by your.
Oh, no doubt,
hey.
no doubt.
Look,
We
let's give
appreciate
them
you coming.
let's give them something to do on Sunday now. Don't send them to church
Right,
empty-handed.
right. We appreciate you. We appreciate you coming through here to bless us with some of them jewels that you're gonna drop. So,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
yeah.
so, yeah, so
Y'all got my
salute to
nose
you.
sweating. I'm listening. I'm like, hold on. I gotta find what room I'm gonna be in. I got to get peace,
That's
quiet.
right.
Let's
That's
That's
go.
right.
right. Center your whole self, Queen. Just
That's
center
right.
yourself.
That's right. Now we got the one and only LA Keys. So I'll let her introduce herself, and you know, uh, I'm pretty sure she's gonna drop some jewels too. But this is raw and uncut, Queen. So I hope you're ready.
Greetings, everyone. I am LA Keys coming to you from Ohio, Cincinnati, Ohio.
We
Hmm.
lost our value.
I'll be running straight to the altar tomorrow for all of us.
Okay,
Okay,
we lost your
so
volume, Queen.
so Queen, we did lose the volume. And when you were speaking, can you go ahead and reintroduce yourself, please?
I'm not sure she can hear us.
Nah, I'm not sure either.
We can't hear her, that's for sure.
Yeah, yeah, folks. So okay, maybe she might.
She must be saying something real good because she didn't mute it. The whole thing that went quiet on her. You know that's
Yeah.
how she got something good to say. That's
So
supposed to be the greener one.
right, right.
Hold on,
Maybe
she
she gonna
went
go.
out though.
Yeah. So
Or maybe she's
we,
gonna
we-
go out and come back in. She must have lost
Okay.
activity.
All
okay
right.
now.
All right,
My
LA.
So
apologies for that.
okay. So I would like for you to reintroduce yourself so the audience could hear you and hear what you had to say, because I'm pretty sure it was something of magnitude. So could you reintroduce yourself again, please?
Absolutely. I was saying that I am LA Keys coming to you all from Cincinnati, Ohio. It is a pleasure to be here tonight with these kings and queens. Well, the king and these queens. And prayerfully you get some knowledge tonight or some insight on tonight. And I said that I will be going straight to the altar on behalf of all of us tomorrow. But it's all in fun.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'm not sure what happened to King Jacob. Maybe
He's coming.
he's coming back.
Yeah, I'm here. Most
Okay.
definitely. Most definitely. So, with that being said, we're gonna get into this topic. So, and we just gonna go in the order. So, but I'm gonna introduce the topic. Then we're gonna start off with you, Queen Unique, and then we're gonna go around the panel. So, topic of discussion, topic of expression: mental intimacy versus physical sex. So, Queen Unique, how would you break that down and describe that? Like, so what are your thoughts on that topic?
I mean, you know, you really want me to break it down? Yeah, y'all know I'm gonna give y'all the Ebonic ghetto version, right?
Well, I mean, do
So,
what you do.
Baltimore style, straight to the point. Pretty much, physical is a hobby for me. I said this, I think, last week that physical sex is just physical sex. That does not mean we are committed. That does not mean that that's sealed the deal. That means that with two grown folks, we agree on some physical situations. I don't do friends with benefits because I'm your friend and I don't do friends. So if you put yourself out there, then you're going to get what you came for if it's worth it. But as far as the mental is what keeps me. That is more intriguing. I get into who you are, what you are, why you are. It's the imagination of everything, and hopefully, what we imagine it goes with the physical part of it. But for me, I am more of a mental kind of person as far as seal the deal. You know, it's taking me to that ecstasy without taking ecstasy, like 50 Cent said. Um, but physical is, like tonight I'm drinking my wine. If tonight is right, I just might. But I might not call you in the morning now. Don't you judge me, just pray for me. So that's my whole little thing about the mental versus physical. I prefer mental, but I'm a single girl and I live with single people. So sex is a hobby. It's exercise if it's physical. So that's how I see
Okay.
it.
Okay. Okay. Next we have up, my good friend from Boston. We've been rocking for a while, so we're gonna let her chime in and see what she think on that level. You know.
So I
Yeah.
agree. Can everyone hear me? Blessed. So I agree with
Yeah.
Queen Meek. I think that physical sex is what it is. But for me, I think any kind of sex starts with the mental, and that's where you could draw the line between if it's a lustful type of energy that you're feeling. I could be wrong, but whether I'm lusting over something or thinking on something that might be longevity, I think that it has to start with my brain. Like I have to either see something that is enticing or attractive. So I think they go hand in hand, but there's levels to it. Like
Mhm.
you could see something in your mind, you could see yourself tearing it up, beating it down, doing everything, to it. And if you're not, I feel like you know what you want in life, so it's all about your mental, really, like
Mhm.
what you want to do with your body. For me, I'm a mental type of person. I wouldn't engage with anything that I didn't feel like I was connected with, and that's more like on a spiritual level too for me.
Oh
So
yes.
not to get off topic, but
No, but let's
I
go there. Let's
have my,
definitely talk about the
yeah,
spiritual aspect of it
Right.
all.
yeah, whatever you take in your body as an individual, it's going to have some kind of impact. And a lot of people don't understand
Absolutely.
that you could see something and it might look good on the outside, but might not be
Hmm.
good on the inside. And a lot of women don't understand that some of the things that like your man might be eating or drinking, and then if he comes inside of you, that's gonna throw off your pH balance and things like
Hmm.
that. So it all starts with your mental. The more knowledgeable you are about your body and understanding what you need is and what you want as a woman. Like some females aren't looking for commitment. They don't want to be in the shower getting busy because they ain't got a partner, and they might not be looking for love or any kind of commitment. So it's just all about where your mental is for me. And I'm a spiritual type of person more than mental anything, because your mind can get you into a lot of trouble too.
Absolutely.
The mind can
Absolutely.
feel the energy. And then I know from my wisdom and my understanding that even my mind could be playing tricks on me. So it's really a spiritual thing for me. And physical sex is good, and it will help you lose weight. Like you said, it's good for exercising and all that. But as a female, I'm really particular about what I put in my body, not just.
That's right.
I'm not putting no toys and none of that. Not against women to do that, but I just feel like I'm a natural type of person. I'd rather deal with a cucumber before I deal with plastic or metal or something. I ain't saying I do none of that.
You said a cucumber, y'all.
Mind is a powerful thing. You know what I'm saying? It could get you into a lot of trouble, or it could save you from some things. So I think it's your mindset definitely goes hand in hand with sex, but it's the individual's mindset that is gonna, reflect how they're gonna deal with an individual sexually. And that's my little input,
Okay. Appreciate that. Jewel was dropping, as they say, on Love Jones.
I love it.
So we gonna
no more dildos, y'all. Cucumbers.
No, I don't know, because some people's cucumbers are all soggy. They could be pickled in the fridge. I'm telling you, women to put a cucumber in the ain't gonna do that. I'm gonna tell y'all.
You know what?
Water.
You know what?
I love it. I love it.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
I didn't tell you deal with the fruit. I just said I wouldn't deal with
it.
Hey, I love it.
Because I'm
I love it.
I won't even let a bitch stick a finger in me, because nails are the dirtiest things on the planet. For each person, it's your mindset,
Right. Yeah, appreciate it. So LAPs, you know the topic at hand. Mental intimacy versus physical sex. So, go ahead and drop it.
Absolutely. So I too come from a spiritual point of view. For me, different strokes for different folks. I don't knock the next person and what they do, but it's not for me. I can't have casual sex. I've tried it. I didn't like it, and I don't want to go back down that road. I seen the outcome, the consequences of what happens with that. But out of that was 2 blessings. So I have to be in tune with you. It has to be spiritual. It has to be a connection, mind, body, and spirit for me. And when you've had something like that, it's explosive. You don't want mediocre. You don't want casual. You don't want mediocre. You want what you had. You can't miss what you've never had. So to have had experience casual sex, and to experience physical sex, and to experience intimacy, that's for me. That's for me.
Okay.
And like, you can't have, when you do have to be cautious of what you take and what you allow to enter into your body, not just what you eat physically, food, but just who enters in the different spirits that come along with it,
Amen.
Oh yeah.
So,
Amen.
It's a spiritual thing. It's a spiritual thing. And I've had that where, yes, not knowing who you are. You doing this and you wondering why you doing it, because I done slept with you and all the people that you slept with me and the people, and I'm just out of balance. I'm out of alignment, out of order. It's soul ties and them things. I'm cool with where I'm at. Some people, like Betty White said, some people think that having a piece of man is better than having no man. I'd rather have no man until he sends me my king. So right now I'm working on me and healing and getting my kingdom together. So when my king arrives, we good.
Mm-hmm.
All right then. All righty. Okay, so listen.
It looks like Natalie we had a new queen to join.
Yeah, we have Miss Indoor. What's going on, baby girl?
Queen.
Hello.
How you doing? How you doing? Well,
good.
Yes,
we good. So we definitely into this topic, mental intimacy versus physical sex. So want you to chime in and give your point of view on that topic.
Can she introduce herself for the audience?
Sure. Go ahead.
Yes, yes. Just to let y'all know, my music name is Indoor. I'm a national recording artist. I'm an entrepreneur. I have my own fragrance, my own clothing line, and I'm a published author as well. I've been in the entertainment field ever since I was like 17, 18. I'll be 40 this year. Um, Man, I've been doing it for a long time now. I met Jacob um, just offline, what I've been doing, my music and everything, and we've been staying in contact for like about what 6, 7 years now, maybe
Yeah, probably about 8 for real.
8 years. Yep, we've
Yeah,
been knowing each other for
Nice.
8 years. So just
yeah.
watching my movement online and what it is that I do and everything, and I'm very spiritual as well, always uplifting with my peoples to be a better them, a better version of themselves. I was giving inspirational posts and so on and so forth. So yeah, that's what my music is about. Um, and man, my clothing line as well. So thank you for having me again, and it's a pleasure meeting all you guys.
You as
No
Thank you for
doubt, no
well.
doubt,
joining
no
us.
doubt.
Yes.
So we're gonna let you chime into this topic, man. Mental intimacy versus physical sex. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, it's important to have mental intimacy because the thing is that when it's physical, it's just physical. It's just touching the outer layer. It's not you're not tapping into that person's spirituality and who they is in the inside of them. It's very imperative that you get to know a person and that you're just not a hollow soul just walking around. That spiritual soul tie is very, very deep. Because Miss LaKysha has stated, I'm gonna piggyback off of what you were saying. The spiritual soul tie is deep. You could be taking on
Yes.
people's spirits and the demons, and if that other person or that other individual is sitting up here dealing with different people, and then you intertwine with them, you could be trying to figure out why you angry all of a sudden, or you're
Mm.
trying to
Right.
figure out why you got mood swings, so on and so forth, and it'll be because of the person that you connected with. um and plus you need that sense of connection, but you got to be careful with that too, because you can have a soul tie, and then it's a difference between the twin flame. Then there's that it's another soul tie too, where it could be negative and it's toxic. So it's a
Hmm.
difference between having a soulmate and a twin flame. You got to know where to place people in your life and who benefits you.
Absolutely.
It's just important to really get to know a person. But I sincerely believe in having mental intimacy because first and foremost, I'm mental. Period. Like you got to hit my brain. If you don't hit me mentally, you're not gonna keep me. Period.
That's right.
It's just not. I like
Right.
to think.
Right.
I like to think.
Right.
You have to be able to love a person 1,000 ways. It's more than just physical intimacy. You have to be able to love them, whether it be with going out, spending time, reading, doing outside activities. Really getting an understanding of the significant other that you with. Because anybody could just have sex. That ain't nothing.
Right.
They come and they go.
Right.
But being able to connect with somebody mentally, that's why it'd be hard as we get older. I don't know for y'all, but it's like, okay, no, I want to settle down. Because once you come into it's a lot of energy and time and mental space that you put into a relationship. So when you get older and you meet someone, it's like you're putting everything into it. And then don't be an already made family. That's even more, because now you asking whoever is with you to accept your significant other. You asking them to bring them into their life, and if they can coexist with your children, or if you could coexist with his children. It's a lot of time and energy, so it's harder to let go when you get into those relationships. So you got to really be careful, and we all just have to take our time getting to know one another. But mental intimacy is my thing. Like big up on that because I'd rather be with one person.
Okay. Well,
Amen to that.
Thank you.
this,
Thank you.
this is what I
Cheers.
can say. What you queens have spoke on. You
Okay.
queens have spoke on the spiritual mental intimacy. So
Yeah.
with the mental intimacy, there's some different levels. So shall I begin to break this down for you?
Okay. Go
Let's
ahead.
go.
All right. So this is going to be a little raw, raunchy, and uncut.
Go
So,
ahead.
so the mental intimacy. You know, for me, as when I was younger, you know, I meet her, we vibe, but I had to mind fuck her first. Yes, yes, I had to have her mind going crazy, like it was a Russian roulette game inside her mind. And so, like I'll tell you, like when I say mind, sex, I'm talking about like me and her are chilling. We laying in the bed together. I know she aroused, but I won't touch her. I know it. You know what I mean? Or she's hot and bothered, and I'll be like, all right, man, I'm gonna holler at you a little later. Let me get on through. You know what I mean? I kiss on the cheek and say goodbye to her. So her mind was already going, and I caught it. So therefore, I was like, you know what? Let me just go about my business. You know what I mean? Because it's no challenge. So that type of intimacy with a male, you know, he really knows that he has her already, because with doing things of that's gonna even make her want you more, especially when we was younger. Now, when you dealing with a woman with some growth, she like, nigga, just get the fuck on. You know what I mean? Yeah, so but when you younger and and everybody is trying to elevate themselves, and then once you really play that intimacy game a couple times, and then the physical gonna be so easy, you know, to she gonna be like, so where you going? I'm about to go back to the crib. You don't have to, you know what I mean? And so she already there. But from the spiritual form that you ladies were speaking on, it takes a different type of brother to understand that spiritual aspect of mental intimacy. You know what I mean? And so, and then the physical part of it. When we talk about physical, we talk about oh man, we talk about how we men are memorized by her boobs, by her curves, by her stance, by the way she walk. You know, you know what I'm saying? So it's like if you go to a club, you be like, and you see her, but you don't really get a chance to really talk to and vibe with her. So men go back to that club that same night, you know what I mean? Or they'll see one of her friends in the streets, be like, y'all going to the club, Sarah? Probably, for sure, and so we don't really even want to go to the club sometimes, but we will make it our business to get there if that chick then really caught our eye and caught our attention, man. It's like she done brought that lustful side out, where you be like, damn, man, this motherfucker was so bad. I got to go back to the club. You know what I mean? I got to see if I can grab her for real, for real. And so that that lustful side and that physical, because a lot of times the physical is nothing but a nut for you, a nut for me. You know what I mean? It ain't much, ain't no ties to it or nothing. But for a male, if she really put that thing on you, and them juices is flowing, and that thing is gushy gush, and when she really put it on you, you be like, "Whew, this motherfucker right here." And sometimes she can put it on you so bad till you got to mentally go inside your mind and be like, oh, no, I got to cut this off. Because if I keep fucking her, I won't have no damn money at all. At all. So it's certain females that put that thing on you and they know what they doing. Because you ain't the first one they done put it on. Like she didn't empty out whole bank accounts and some pensions, 401ks too. So
That's deep.
hey man,
You get what you pay for.
I'm just it is what it is, but it's just some that you can't deal with. You can't. And as soon as men realize that, the better off they're gonna be, man. Because it's been a few I dealt with. I was like, no sir, no sir, no more. No sir, like you know, because she had that mind turning, and then your boy's like, man, what's wrong with you, bro? Be like, man, this motherfucker right here, boy. Be like, I just can't. You know what I mean? So
that's why the Bible says you gotta guard your heart and your mind.
yeah.
And I learned that as a child, because I grew up in a house full of brothers, and I was like a tomboy, so I knew right away that was the game that a lot of guys was gonna play, and it made me like a better woman, and I grew up a little more mature than a lot of my friends because I had that insight. Everything that you're saying, a lot of men think and they move like that, but the problem that I have with it is when they don't mature, then it becomes like a mental illness and abuse to the women, because if you could control somebody's mind, you could control almost anything. And
I mean, once you get the mind, the body is sure to follow. I mean, that's proven.
Get in the bed. So I can respect the part where you said you was like that as a child, and I learned that right off the rip. And I'm not gonna lie, when I use that, I'm in a committed relationship right now, but I use that tactic to get my man the way I wanted to have him, and he'll tell you himself, like, we met, and not to put all our business out there, but the first couple of dates I wouldn't sleep with him, but I made sure I laid next to him naked. You know what I mean? Because I wanted for him to understand that I'm about to fuck you up in the head like this. You about to just look, not touch, nothing.
That's right. That's right.
All in his ear, like, damn.
All right.
Oh, she ain't like that. You know, and I ain't like that. But I already, when I was growing up, I had the blessing of being around a lot of guys. And I knew that my brother, they used to always tell me, like, you know, action, judge a man off his actions, because guys got slick talks and they do things to get in your head. If they can get in your head, then you get in your bed. If they get in your head, they get in your pocket. You know what I mean? And so just for any woman out there listening, mind control doesn't even have no limitations. Like, it's mind control with television, music, you know, so.
And that music is one. Yeah. That music is definitely one. You have to be careful what you're listening to.
Yeah, so the intake, just like we were discussing earlier, any kind of intake, physically, spiritually, mentally, is going to have an impact on you. So just getting into the mental and really understanding where somebody's rooted and their values and their morals is important when developing strong relationships.
Right. Exactly. I agree. And as I was saying, is, you know, when I was younger, that's what I did. But you know, when you got that growth, and when you mature, and when you really, you know, and then you know,
after drinking enough hots, maybe, or maybe you ran to a crazy girl, keyed up your car after you played with a mind. I think guys got to go through some stuff too to realize. Play with a
not even, you know,
they go crazy.
If it really don't challenge me, it's not for me. So it didn't even challenge me. Like, it was quite boring and easy. So, you know, therefore, you know, if it's not a challenge, then what are you doing? It's like a waste of time. It's not even, you know.
But if you really think about it, though, getting off of topic with everything, if you really think about everything in life, everything is about psychology, though. Think about it. Everything is about psychology. Like you were saying about the music, you gotta be careful. They use it as a form of psychology, you know. And getting on the spiritual tip, a lot of people don't know that Lucifer was the angel of music, so he had dominion over music, and that's so that came into the world. A lot of people don't know that. Not only with the music, then you got television, you got clothes, you got colors, you got everything. It's
Oh
all
gosh,
mental.
yes.
It's
Yes.
all mental. Everything is operated mentally, and it's all a
Right.
tactic. When you was talking, Jacob, about about how you used to be when you came up as a kid and you used a mental tactic, it's all a form of psychology. We all do
Oh
that.
yeah.
And if you know what you got, and it's like, hey, well, I know how to get a little bit savvy, get up in the head, boom, boom, boom. I do this, ooh, and all you got to do is really study a person. That's only if you're into them, though.
Right.
And a lot of people, what's going on nowadays with relationships and why marriages don't last, why relationships don't last, is that they have a personal agenda. They're
Right.
there for one thing. So what ends up happening is that they're not mentally fulfilled because they never had the intentions on staying for long.
Go ahead.
So
Go ahead.
get it? Get
Mhm.
it? Now you
Yeah.
see the change.
So it's funny you say that, and then in this right here, I want everybody to come in on. So you said the psychological part of the mental intimacy, and okay, so with saying that, when one's mind is not stimulated for the mental intimacy, they may experience some what we call some emotional breakdowns. And so, with experiencing those emotional breakdowns, you go into a stressful emotional barrier. That a lot of males or females can't really overcome. Because it's stressful, emotional, and then it plays a mental part as well. And so, with that
Also,
type of,
too, a person's upbringing is important too.
Amen.
It
What
is.
they
it
It's
is, it
very
is.
important.
what they mirror, where they came from, what they were taught, and also in psychology, it's called learned behavior. It's all about what they
Yeah.
mimic too,
And I was
as
about to
well.
say love language. You
Yep,
have to
there it is.
definitely
There it is.
understand what one's love language is, because until I got into psychology, I didn't even know that it was more than one form of love. It's more than one form. It's not just one kind, which is when I think you want to begin to have a conversation, because some people think that, well, if I shared the most intimate part of me, if I shared, gave you my body, I gave you the pillow talk, then I displayed that I love you. Whereas you have someone else may feel like because you shared these things, it's no way that you are displaying love. It's irresponsible. So it's important to definitely have that healthy conversation about what is your love language, and if you're even looking for love. Some people may not be ready there and not even know what they're doing, and that's when the static get to going, and the spirits get to rolling, and two spirits that's not kindred with one another, it brings conflict and confusion within yourself, and then you display it outward.
So
Yeah.
we're gonna go into this topic when it comes to the mental part of the intimacy, and we're gonna start with you, Queen from Boston. We're gonna start with you. So self accountability and self responsibility. How would you say that plays a part of mental and emotional intimacy?
Um, self accountability. How does it play with? Repeat again, because I want to make
Uh,
sure,
self
my brother.
self accountability and self responsibility. How does that play a part in the level of emotional and mental intimacy?
I mean, I'm gonna start off like this. I think that for a lot of women, there's the fear of sharing too much with someone so that they could have the advantage of playing on your mental. So, the way that I interpret that question as an individual like myself, I know that the way that I respond to certain things or in my relationship, or basically, like if I present myself a certain way, then I got to be accountable for the way I'm going to get treated. So if I deal with a man and not setting them boundaries right away, or my expectations, or exactly what I want, then I can't get mad if he's not doing what I expect of him. Or and if you're talking as far as like what was it, emotional or sexual?
No, mental and
Mental,
emotional intimacy. Like how does that all play a part? And what
You gotta
level?
be responsible. Like and first of all, like I just think that you have to be responsible for your own emotions too. Like a lot of times, a lot of people can't deal with the reaction they're getting from their partner, and it can end up in a like a domestic violence situation or something. That's the way I take it. I just think that it comes from a point of you knowing yourself and identifying your strengths and weaknesses in the relationship, and presenting what you expect right out the way, so that you can maintain control over situations. You know how to identify when it's outside of the park and it's not what you want. So I don't know. That's a really tricky question, but I'm really big on accountability and being aware of who you are, so you know what you want out of anybody around you. And if you're not, like, you can't expect me to not put onions in your food if I don't know you're allergic to onions, and then get mad when there's onions in there. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, as a woman, dealing with men, I always like I get a little nervous about sharing maybe too much about me, but then at the same time I have to do that. Like, whether I take the risk. Like, I'm not gonna be like sugarcoating it. Like, if I don't like a certain thing or I want a certain thing done, then at least I told you, and you gotta be accountable for whatever's gonna happen after that, and understand that's what it is. You might get left or something. I don't know. It's big. People don't take responsibility these days, though. Like, when it comes to hurt, especially, like, people will hurt you, men and women, they hurt each other, and then they get back together and they don't go through the process of reconstructing and building faith. And so your emotions could cause a very bad situation if you're not responsible and accountable for the way you respond to things. I hope I tackled that. It was a little interesting question, but
Yeah,
that's my yeah.
I'm a very interesting fella.
Yeah,
You
like that's like a big
no
thing.
doubt.
Um, Even for me, like, I walled out like sometimes on men, like when I was in
Right.
my days, like, and I know that it was because of the way that I just let things happen without nipping it in the butt or walking away or something. So I acted off of emotions. I did things that
Hmm.
outside of character, and that's part of me not being aware of who I am and what I want, and not sharing that with a man. So it's a risk, but at the end of the day, if you're not accountable for your feelings and handle things responsibly, you'll end up in a bad position, because emotions is nothing to play with.
Nothing at all. Nothing at all.
Even with a man, these chicks, like, you talk about the chicks that running around throwing that thing on a man, taking his checks and all that. When he turns around and he wants to do a OJ Simpson, you can't be mad, because you gotta be, you know what I'm saying? Like, you kind of set that tone. You set
Hey,
yourself up. So that's where my where I feel about responsibility, accountability. If you want to be a player and all this other stuff, like, be a responsible player too. Don't bring that home to your woman. Like, it's all about ow!
all right, all
She got
right.
the
So,
finger up.
It could go so many, you could take
so
that in so many directions, but like,
right.
some relationships are open like that. People are doing things with 3 people and doing the most. So you can't be wrong and strong, like the side chick who want to mess with the married couple. You're messing with a married couple. So when you get that backfire of, you know what I'm saying, being left alone one night on Christmas when he got to be with his kids and his family or something, then be responsible. Don't be aggravating that family and doing the most, because you know what you're getting yourself into. Nobody want to care about you crying. Don't be trying to blow up and hurt the other girl's feelings. It's just like, be responsible out here. You know what everybody knows what they're doing.
Right. So, and Dora, the same question for you. Self-responsibility, self-accountability, on that level of emotional and mental intimacy. So how do one remain, hold themselves accountable and have responsibility when it comes to that mental intimacy and it comes to that, emotional level of that mental intimacy. So, can you control it? Can you not control it? Is your mind fully equipped to really, go there with a person? Because everybody's not fully equipped, because everybody can't get down with the get down because they already broken and they never got a chance to heal. And so if you never got a chance to heal, all you doing is trying to have sex to cover up that pain. So, you know what it is.
I'm going to give you two phrases. Okay. One is know thyself. Know thyself. That's very imperative before you come into place when anybody else. Know thyself. And the second phrase is treat people as you would want to be treated. That's how everything is answered. See, when you understand and you know yourself, first and foremost, you understand your preferences. You already laid it out on the line. You're confident in who you are. You already know what it is that you can and you can't take. So therefore, when you come into contact with the other person, you're taking that time, but just to get to know somebody and understand and study their body language, understand their past. You sitting down, you're doing the dating. It's not just all about sex. You're doing the dating. You're actually being attentive, and you're watching the way that they move, the way that they speak, the way that they talk. That's with the intentions of wanting to get to know them better. That's what knowing thyself, because you'll know on whether or not if you want to be with that person or not. Then treating people as you would want to be treated, that goes into play. Well, you got to think about, well, what if that was me, or the shoe was on the other foot? That's being responsible for your emotions, for your actions, for the way that you think, for the way that you carry yourself. And then trying to understand if it's the right person that can accommodate you and that y'all could live accordingly and in harmony. That's a part of getting to know somebody, because a lot of people haven't healed from their past. And yes, they do use that emotional band-aid where they try to fix, they try to fix it with temporary love, temporary sex, a temporary fix. And then they don't hold accountability and they get somebody else's emotions that actually is ready and you're not. Now you got to sit up there and answer for, hey, I know I did this and that and this, but I wasn't ready at that time. Is when you can be honest with yourself when they say knowing thyself and say, hey, look, I got out of this. I'm going to tell you this right now. You can get entwined with me, but hey, guess what? I'm a handful.
So when
I got some baggage.
So when you say know thyself, let's get into that. And that's a whole can of whoop ass. A whole can of whoop ass. So that's a whole can of whoop ass. So knowing thyself. So we're talking about knowing thyself spiritually, emotionally, physically, mentally.
Have to.
And so no, it don't happen like that.
I know it don't. I know it don't normally, but I'm gonna be honest with you though. You do have some people out there who is respectful of other people because they respect themselves. And that's with knowing themselves. You understand me? Because I came across gentlemen in the past who be like, look, I'm not looking for nothing. This is all I just want some ass. You feel me?
That's right.
But that's with knowing thyself. You get what I'm saying? Because you know what you're willing to take and what you're willing not to take. Then you got men saying, hey, I just got out of this relationship. I'm gonna let you know I got some emotional baggage. I got some baggage. You take it as you see fit. And then most women, they be like, I could change this. I could change this. You can't manipulate anything. And that's where a lot of us women fall at, where we think we could change. No. Change the things that you can, accept the things you cannot change.
This is a public service announcement. Women, listen to me and listen to me real motherfucking good. Listen to me. You will not change a broken man. He has to go through a healing cycle by himself to find
Nor
himself
But
could,
again.
for women too.
nor can a
Women
woman
too.
allow herself to be a rehabilitation center neither, because you have a lot of women who are empaths, and then they sit up there and they attract a lot of narcissist people.
Right. And then
Who sit up here and they,
and then
because the man
and then
can feel that they have that motherly nature, and then what they do is they prowl and they crawl on that, and it's like, oh, you're supposed to take me in. I am not supposed to be filling the void that your mama was supposed to feel when you was 14 years old and she was out here sitting up here prostituting and on drugs, smoking crack. You feel me? And that's what happens. We become rehabilitation centers. You got men too become rehabilitation centers. They
yes,
take in
Lord.
broken women.
With
They
daddy.
take in broken women who their fathers wasn't around. Their fathers was sitting up here beating on their mamas. They mimic, they mirror what only they've been taught. It's all a form of psychology. It's all about mirroring. It's all about, that's why it's imperative that you spend time with yourself, that you get to know yourself.
That's
And
right.
then everything else will follow. Because when you come into contact with somebody, you can say, hey, guess what? I don't like this.
And you know,
That
people
ain't,
be
that
going
ain't gonna
around.
work for me.
People be trying to go around and heal people like they Jesus, like they went with Moses to part the Red Sea. You not Apostle Paul. You're not Simon Peter, and you're definitely not Job because you ain't got no faith. You know what I mean?
Right,
So
right, right.
like with that right there, man. A lot of times I have seen this. I have had friends be like, "Man, you ain't hanging out no more." No, bro. I gotta take some time to heal myself, bro. I gotta.
But
I really
that's
got to
right.
find myself again. And
That's
they be
why
like,
it's
I was like,
important
and they would be like, I was like,
to
bro, I
know.
was gonna stop by. He said, I don't want anyone to stop by, not even my mother or my father. I have to take this time for myself so people can like me again. Because the way my attitude is right now, people are not gonna like me. So
Right.
therefore, I stay to myself and go through this healing process. And when he went through his healing process for a whole year, that following year, he was just like a new man, a brand new man. So you have to give people their space. You know, a lot of people are so pushy. Man, let that shit go, man. You'll be all right. No, you don't really know what's on the inside of them, mentally or emotionally. So how you gonna tell somebody they're gonna be all right? That's not for you to say. And
Hmm.
so, you know, you just need to have that open door policy. All right, bro, man, I understand. All right, sis, I understand. Therefore, if you need me, I'm here. I'm just a phone call away. And ain't nothing wrong with picking up the phone maybe once a week and calling and checking on them. I just called to check on you and see how you was doing. Okay. When they're ready to open that door again, they're definitely going to let you know. You know what I
Hmm.
mean?
And
You don't
that's
have
when
to be
knowing thyself. That's when knowing
right.
thyself. Because when you know your worth, there's a lot of people, when you know your worth and you know thyself, there's a lot of different people that you will come into contact with, that you will be able to understand and know the difference if they're trying to use you for their benefit, or if they really are genuine and they really want to help you grow. And that's what knowing thyself, that's what it all dumbed down to. I hope I answered it as much as I possibly can, but I
You
like
did.
to get the root of the problem, because
You
once
did.
you get the root of it, everything else follows. It answers
You did.
everything. And it's one word: know thyself.
It is.
Okay. So the next question we're gonna go into is gonna be a little wrong. We're
Well,
gonna
well,
go
well,
into
you ain't let Queen Unique. Queen Unique didn't answer into that. You gotta give that sister a chance.
He
Oh,
Queen.
probably
I'm a
didn't
check.
want to.
Please,
You
you
know
He
I'm a
don't.
probably didn't
checkmate.
want to hear my answer.
No. I want to hear your answer.
Hey, listen. Me and Queen rock. So I'm pretty sure I already got her answer resonated in my head. So, but Queen, you go ahead and drop the jewels. Go ahead.
um. Well, I know thyself, and I've been on both sides of the fence. I have dated women mostly, and some men, and I see with a lot of women, they are rehabilitation centers. They are. A lot of women try to take it and they try to replace purpose with pain, and that's the worst thing that I've ever seen.
I like how
Um,
you said that they try to manipulate and fix purpose with pain. Ooh,
yeah. Yeah,
ooh.
and so my thing is just like you said, it's knowing thyself. I am an honest individual, And it's hard. I'm an Aquarius, so it's kind of hard to get into my mental and hold me. And that's with men and women. Um, I am one of the ones I work hard on myself, and I'm very open and sometimes brutally honest. And I just responsibly, I'll tell you, what it is going in, like whether or not I'm ready for a relationship, whether or not I'm not ready for a relationship. However, we all as human beings, we desire to have that person around sometimes or all the time to just kind of hang out, talk, even get to know ourselves, get to know what you like, what you don't like, what you can tolerate, what you won't tolerate. And it's not always sexual. Sometimes I'm more of a mental person. So sometimes it's just, talking and seeing where we flow at and, what kind of energies are being transmitted between one another. And I just think it's just about once a person tell you what it is that they want and they're sure what they want, then it's really up to you to take it or leave it. And a lot of times people do go into it saying, and just with me being on a preference of women mostly, I have a lot of guys that say, well, you're a waste of a woman, or I can change that. I've even gotten married, and had a church. I like to laugh and say the church tried to pray like gay away. I wouldn't be considered gay. But you can't change a person. A person know what they want. They tell you what they want, but oftentimes it's not respected because we all, as we all stated, we have agendas when we go into things, and we want what we see. Is kind of like going in. We treat relationships, I think, like a new outfit. We try to buy it. We go into it. We try to put it on, and we think it look good on us. And just because it look good on us, don't mean that it's for us. We have to really take what we see and believe what we see, and to learn what we see, but not so much as change what we see. And I'm learning that with age. I'm learning the older I get, the less I tolerate, and I'm beginning to love being with myself. I'm in love with myself, and I tell people, it's kind of hard when you get to that point and you know thyself, and to say, okay, I have to leave some of me to be with you. And so it's a battle really for me. I'm 40 years young, and right now it's like I'm just exploring. I'm exploring life. I'm testing, what works, what don't work, looking at life beyond the outfit, trying to see what materials it's made of. Does it wash well? Does it fit well? Is somebody else wearing it? Kind of things like that. So I think it's all about, just being honest and open and saying who you are and embracing who you are, regardless on what the world want or what the world see. Just embodying who you are and being respectful and responsible with that, and understanding that I know what I got is not a one size fit all situation. So just kind of respecting yourself, and because I respect myself, I demand it from outside. And I teach my girls this. I do youth mentoring, I do women empowerment, and I teach them oftentimes, don't expect anybody to treat you any way that you wouldn't treat yourself. So if you're not going out and you're not treating yourself and exploring yourself and buying yourself those roses and laying the pavement and, putting flowers before your own feet, then why should someone else do it? So I think it's really about you showing who you are for the world to understand how you should be treated. So I think that just comes with responsibility, growth, and development. And I think it comes with time.
And I wanted to point out, it's not about finding a perfect person. It's about finding someone who's willing to compromise.
Yeah, that. And a lot of people are not willing to do the give and take kind of thing. And I think too, that just depends on how much have you given. If I was one of the ones that I was always giving, then eventually the well gonna run dry. And when you look into it, you're gonna be looking for somebody to put something in when you haven't given anything out. I tell people life is like a bank account. Whatever you put in, that's what you're going to get back out. Sometimes it's with interest and sometimes it's with none. You can leave away with a negative balance, or you can have a positive balance. It depends on what you're putting in and what you're going for. And just keeping communication open and having those tough conversations. Like I have a lot of tough conversations with myself first and then with other people. I go in now, I don't go in looking for that sympathy relationship. I see a lot of women, they go in and they feel sorry for well, I'm going to help, and I'm going to change this, and I see something in you that you don't see in yourself. My thing is, if a person don't see it in themselves, then you probably shouldn't see it inside of them either, because no matter what you do and what you put in, you're not going to get the same bang out. And stop going in with expectations, expecting. This is for the men too. Stop going in, say, like, I have a lot of men, it's funny, they go and they challenge, oh yeah, I could do this or I could do that. Life is not about a dick flick. It is not about how deep you stroke it, how far you go, because again, like, without sex, it's so much more without the sex. Do you know yourself? Do you know what you present, and do you know your value? And if you don't know your value, then don't expect me to respect your worth. That's just how it goes.
You're right, but a lot of times through those sexual experience, to a lot of people, they don't even know who they are. They don't even know who that person is, and so those
Lost
desires,
souls, lost
those,
souls. You let people
those,
go in and take your soul, and then your soul just go floating on the ground up
you
into the
know,
moon, the stars, the
you
sun.
know,
You trying to catch it. You don't know what the hell happened.
like you said, lost souls. Her vagina is stressful. His penis is demonic. You know what I mean?
That demon stick.
Yeah, yeah.
You going in,
His
and what about those spiritual transmissions? You going in and those spiritual transmissions. I'm on you, but I'm longing for somebody else. I'm not healed from what I had took inside of me. Like that spiritual transmission is dangerous in itself. And I don't know what happened to King Jacob. He may have transpired somewhere else, but spiritual transmission is very dangerous. Um, and a lot of us don't consider spiritual transmissions. I think I said this last week on the show. I said that I didn't know, and forgive me because I'm hard on the man, but I did not know, and King Jacob helped me understand this, that the men, their penis is a spiritual transmission that's happening there. I
oh
really am practicing, and I'm learning to respect the man and to look at him deeper than just his exterior. I have my reasons on that. And I would say a lot of men, they haven't respected themselves, where it made me find a deeper level of respect for them. It's quick. They're quick to say, a woman, I can get this, I can get that. And like I said last week, a woman know off the break, what she gonna do, what you be it, if she's gonna keep it or not. But she know off the break, the day that she see you, exactly what she's gonna do with you and how she's gonna do it. A lot of times we get ourselves tangled up into that, but I didn't know that a man even had any spiritual sense when in between his legs. To be quite honest, I just thought, he just go around and whatever he do is what he do. And because that's been my experience, it hasn't been, I'm gonna make her work for it, or I'm gonna make her wait for it. It's just, you touch them, they hard as a brick, they ready to go without nothing. And it's just like, to me, that's a turn off. I want to kind of work for what it is that I want. I want to enjoy you. I want to respect you. And if you quick to pull it out for me, just like a man look at us, who else you pulling it out for? So I don't have respect for that.
right. So, Queen from Boston, got to get ready to get out of here. So I want you to
I love
chime in.
y'all.
So, is there any announcements you want to make before you get ready to get out of here, Queen?
I learned a lot from you women, and I love to collaborate and have more, power chats. I appreciate everyone's perspectives, and I learned a lot, definitely. I hope that we could vibe out some more, Jacob. I appreciate you guys. I'm a radio host in Boston, so I had like one of my celeb buds at the station and going back and forth all night from traveling on buses. And it was just, I had a very long day, guys. So, and I had an event I went to, and I got to get up early in the morning. We're expecting a hurricane. So,
Oh,
Right.
respect,
to
be
go
Right,
safe.
right.
there up
So,
north, we're
Yes.
supposed to
Be
get it.
safe. Be safe.
Yeah.
And
and-
hit me up on the book. I got some music
okay,
Yeah.
coming.
Yeah.
but before
So,
you leave, Queen, I
mhm.
want to. I had the pleasure of speaking with her son the other night, and he's a young entrepreneur. So I want the Queen to announce his clothing line and tell us where we can go cop it.
Okay, yeah, sure. So, I have my own company. I'm an entrepreneur. Just like you, Natalie, I'm an author. I have a publishing company, media company, and we do a lot of customized printing. But a lot of that, I just send off to my son. So over the pandemic, he established his own clothing line. It's called The Greatest Discovery. He's a really bright 15-year-old, super, even getting
Wow.
straight A's. He was in school. He just got his HVAC license. So my goal right now, me and my partner, is to just we're working a lot with the young entrepreneurs. I just dropped my Boss Baby C's alphabet book for the
Oh,
kids, and it's doing extremely well. So anybody out there who would like to support him, his clothing line is called The Greatest Discovery, and it's he spells it DSCVRY. So it's The Greatest DSCVRY Discovery. Yeah, you know, he's unique, but it's an acronym for what he say: determination, success. Um, I think it's like courage, versatility, and respect. He did some commercials and stuff. He's a really bright kid, and I appreciate you, Jacob. I knew Jacob for dang Jacob. Just I met Jacob on the internet too, like,
Yeah,
and
I think
some of them
I think
influences.
your son was maybe like what, 9, 10?
Yeah, yeah. Yep. So I knew Jacob for about 5 or 6 years. Behind the scenes, he has blessed me with some dope connects in the industry. We work together with a lot of artists, and just the thought of you having a podcast and a platform to share your experience is, I just automatically want to be a part of it. And I'm learning because I'm 37 and I'm getting up there too. So I respect everything that you women said, and you guys got some powerful advice and tips and tools for women out there. So I'm looking forward to playing this back tomorrow. I'm Miss Snake Charmer. I work on 104.9 FM. That's WRBB Boston.
All
Um,
right now.
it's a college radio station, BDS station. So you can always utilize my platform, ladies, if you wanna. I do a music and motivation morning show. I
nice.
was geared towards the indie artists and concentrated on that for many years. I worked at a couple of college stations, so like I'm really into motivation, inspiration. I have a Eat Better, Feel Better segment. I do financial fitness segment. My indie report where I share things with my industry folks about artists that are making moves and stuff. So anytime any of you ladies want to build with me, if you feel like coming to Boston, come to
Yeah.
Boston. Not, you can call in because I know that this is a topic that a lot of mothers didn't have with their daughters. You feel me?
Right.
Like, and especially in like the urban community. I'm an 80s baby, so a lot of my friends' parents was on drugs or selling drugs, and it's sad. We in you know, it is what it is. But people like you and I who are able to, you know, just tap in. Each one has a different perspective. Like you, Queen Unique, you mess with females, so that alone is like insight to a whole different type of level of emotions and sexual engagement that needs to be talked about. You know, because you're dealing with two females and emotions are high. So I encourage you guys to just keep being great.
Yes.
No
Yes.
doubt,
And
no doubt.
likewise, you do the same. Like it was a pleasure having you here tonight. So you definitely do the same. I look forward to talking to you more and supporting you and your son as well. So shout out to him
You
and
guys,
you.
Yes, yes. Shout out to your son.
thank you so much. All right, Jacob, I love you. Peace and blessings.
Love you
Keep
too,
it
sweetie.
safe, babies.
Peace.
Keep it safe. Keep it safe.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
okay.
All right. Bye.
No doubt. All right, peace.
Jacob,
So
we have Johnny Allen and she said a few things.
she says just because it looked good on you doesn't it does not mean it's a one size fit all. Interesting. Interesting. No, it's not a
That's
one
true.
size fit all because you know everybody don't fit the same category emotionally, mentally, and sexually. You know what I mean? Because you know what's good for you, you know, may not good for me, or what's good for her
That's
is may not
right.
good for you. And so
Right.
one man might be a person that pound, and another man might be a person that know how to hit the corners. So,
Oh.
you know, when you talking about hitting them corners, you're talking about a different level of the physical aspect of it, because when you can hit the corners and you can, uh, make the sweat come out the walls, well, the back of her knees are sweating, that's different. So,
And she
just,
said a man deposited into a woman. So you can read that one.
yeah, so a man deposit into a woman, a man deposit into women his unequally yoked spirits. And this is true.
Yeah, wait,
Not,
you talked about that on last
yeah,
Friday. That
right,
show
yeah.
is amazing, man.
So, so this is true. Yes, he can be unequally yoked, but, you know, uh, her vagina can be spiritually damaged because if he's unequally yoked and he's going inside of your vagina, it's spiritually damaged. And so,
So it's the woman's fault?
I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
Oh.
If they're unequally yoked, both of them, if he's unequally yoked and he's going inside of her, then that's a spiritual transformation.
Okay,
That's going,
because she's
yes, that's going to damage the walls of her vagina. And
okay.
so, and
Okay.
so, though, and so those damaged walls carry something that's not good for her soul mentally. It's not
Hmm.
good for her heart emotionally, and it's definitely not good for her daily walk of life. So that right there, that's a chemical imbalance, as they would say. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Um, that's that's no good. Because both are damaging on different levels. And then the 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 woman don't understand the stressful ways of the penis. When I say stressful ways of the penis, if you're mentally stressed and your body is stressed, and so you want to go to the woman and relieve some stress,
Oh
so
gosh.
so he's rupturing your walls, he's pounding on you, and he's putting that stress inside your vagina, which is unclean and uneasy. So it's so
I
deep, and
mean,
we can
even
talk
down
about
to the way that he eat. Like
yeah,
you
yeah,
need to be careful on what he eat, what he
yeah,
speak, what he thinking. Like we taking all of that. Like your chemistry change. You kind of don't recognize yourself. The smells change. And smells
yeah.
go with the way that we think. Just like Queen said, the psychology of everything, and that is very important. And I know you and I, King, we talk a lot about these things, and
Hmm.
I look. We have to have the same diet. We have to have the same diet because what you eat, what you speak, you're putting it into me.
But see,
And
the thing about that though, Queen, a lot of times when it comes to men, especially not older men, middle-aged men, younger men, if the woman puts it in a term of sort of like endearment, a pleasant term, and say, I want you to look at this diagram. This is what you do to your body. Uh, Now this is what should be going in your body and putting your body on this type of level. So especially if he come from a athletic background, but he don't play sports anymore, it's not hard for him to transition. You know what I'm saying? And so with that nutrition, all he does is kind of take it back to when he did play sports, when he was eating healthier, and it's not hard for him to transition. But it's it's just like nobody wants to be talked to, like they're absolutely nothing to nobody. So when you're,
sometimes I say don't talk about it. I don't believe that we should go in to change anyone. I think that we should go in to learn and respect who that person is. I really don't think that we should mommy relationships. I
well, I
think
don't
that
call it.
it's a difference in being your mother and just being that goddess that's here for you. Paying attention, you know what I mean? Like paying attention to what he eat, what he speak. And I think right then and there, before the transmission even happened, you can find out if the yoke, so to speak, is going to be even or not. I started, I tell myself and I tell the girls too, you know, when you're going out and you dating, just pay attention to like where you're offered at. Like be okay with the man picking the space, or even if it's for the kings, like be okay with the queen picking the space. And just by what she picked, it will speak volumes to what it is that she's bringing forth to you, or what it is that he's bringing forth to you. Like I'm not a person, I don't eat meat, you know that. So my thing is, if you take me to a steakhouse, you know, I'm not going to try and change that for you. I will respect that, but I know that it'll be some questions off of the break on what we're about to transmit upon amongst each other. You know, if you're sitting here and you chopping down your steak and it's cooked good and it's seasoned good, respect to that. You know what I mean? Like steak is not an inexpensive meal, but I had to question myself: is this something that I want to go and chance, or is it? And then too, I tell people sometimes we take them from the boardrooms to the beds. We got to understand where do they belong. Just because you see it, you like it, you want it, doesn't mean that it belongs in your bedroom. Sometimes it belongs just in a different space. And I think we as queens, we miss a lot. We miss a lot of what we could have because this may be for kings as well, but I'm going to speak for my position. Because if we see it, we're like, oh yeah, you know, this is what I want. I like how you look. I like how you smell. You know, he can afford this. He can afford that. But what if he wasn't supposed to be with you in an intimate way? What if this was supposed to be just someone who's leading you down a path where you need some extra testosterone? You might not belong in the bed with him. And then for myself, I even had to look at myself on, you know, the other side. What if this is someone who you're not supposed to be taking into the bedroom? What if this is someone who's supposed to be a business partner who's just supposed to get you to the next level? Because intimacy can be shared beyond the bedroom. You know, you can be intimate in other ways.
Right. So, Queen Endure, what do you think about that right there? What Queen you just spoke of?
I totally agree with everything. I certainly believe you have to forgive me because I have to leave. I put it in the message. I said I have to end.
Okay. Oh
So
well.
I heard most of your stuff, but I was like, okay, I have to go. I am going to be rude,
Okay.
but I wanted to allow you to speak your piece. Um, Again, I agree with what you're saying, and it's just imperative to, you know yourself, love yourself, and once you do that, everything else will fall into place, and the people you come into contact with, they will love themselves as well.
Okay. So we thank you for that, Queen. Are there any announcement you want to make before you exit?
I'll be performing at the New York State Fair September 1st, the Pan African stage. I'll be hosting and performing, and just stay tuned. I seen that Queen Unique had front requested me. I'm gonna go through. I'm at 5,000, but I'm gonna go through. I think some people probably deleted their pages. They do that sometimes, but I'm still hooked on. So I will be accepting your friend requests again. I mean, soon.
Okay.
And King Jacob, thank you so much for having me on the show. I appreciate the invite.
No doubt. And I'll be contacting you again because on this show I'm gonna have a R&B session. So we're gonna talk about the levels of R&B music, and you guys are gonna sing on the show as well. So just be prepared. I'll be giving you a call.
Okay.
So.
And I look forward to that friend request.
All
okay.
right.
Well.
Thank you.
All right. Well, we're gonna wrap it up tonight, and want to thank everybody for coming through. Another splendid topic. King Jacob, Queen Unique, the Just Us show. And we're just gonna be, rocking it out. So I'm gonna have some different topics coming in. And on last night on the Chatterbox with King Jacob, we had some of the most incomparable black men I've ever witnessed in my life. The history of black firefighters. We had Yusef Muhammad, who was a 30-year veteran, retired firefighter. We had Dory Smith, which he was a 20-year veteran, and he got out because doing a firefight, he fell off a ladder and he broke both his ankles, had to learn how to walk again. And we also had my good home I grew up with, City Councilman Blackwood, South Carolina, Sloan Griffin, who was an ex-fire chief and an ex-regional director for FEMA. So we had a split, and none can't forget this fella. We had the writer for the movie Stump the Yard, Donald Crenshaw, which he wrote that movie 11 years ago, so, just stay tuned for more important messages. So I even got some more things cooking in the pot. You never know who I'm gonna bring through. You never know, man. But
You never know what you're gonna say on Facebook either.
yeah, and well, I mean, it happens sometimes, and so yeah, we're gonna let y'all go. We're gonna say peace, love, and have grease, as Don Cornelius used to say, peace and show. So
Yes.
tune in next Saturday, same time, Queen Unique, King Jacob, and we'll bring you another splendid topic. And thanks for who all tuned in. Peace and blessings.
All right. Peace and love.